Hello, hello, hello. It is Tuesday, right? I want to say Thursday because that's when the show used to come on, but it's Tuesday night. And I am Miss Nina B, and I'm excited to bring to you the Hotspot Live Show. Listen, it's been a little while, but that's okay. I got some good stuff for you. And so, for those of you who may be joining me for the first time, whether you're seeing me on YouTube or LinkedIn, or you may be in the exclusive social media success hotspot Facebook group, which is where my community gathers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are joining me, please say hello in the comments. Let me know who you are. Let me know where you're coming from. I am excited to be here tonight, and I have some great stuff. We're going to be talking about CRM. CRMs. You know, you may have heard that term once, twice, maybe a million times. But we're going to be talking about tonight. And hopefully, I will simplify it and demystify it somewhat for you and help you get past any stuckedness you may have around the topic. But before I get started, I want to say shout out to my community and particularly all the new people joining the community. We are so happy to have you. Welcome, 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 welcome. This is the place where no question is too simple or too hard or too obscure, or you don't have to feel any kind of way by asking a question. This is what this community is for. You see, when I started my entrepreneurial journey, I already came in with some level of knowledge because of my technology background. But I discovered it was a whole new world. And it was like I jumped in and someone enrolled me in a college class where I had not gone through elementary school, middle school, or high school. I just went straight to college, and I felt like I was like in an island in another country speaking a whole nother language. And too often there are new entrepreneurs who are feeling the same way. They're like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Some of the stuff that they're learning when they sign up for these courses. And so God put it on my heart to say, hey, you are the trainer for those who are beginning, and beginning is relative, those who really want something simplified and broken down so that they can digest it and own it and go forward with it. So, welcome to the show. I see Valencia. I see Ramona. Welcome, welcome, welcome from joining me from LinkedIn land. Love me some LinkedIn. I am also affectionately known as the LinkedIn Queen. So, you are in the right place. But tonight we're going to be talking about CRM. So, whether you are an entrepreneur, a small business owner, you may be hearing that term and be wondering what you need to know and how do you go forward with that. So we're going to be talking about that. But what you may see right here in my hand are these two boxes. These boxes were given to me, were sent to me as birthday gifts. My birthday was way back in July. But they are really important to me because they contain little things that are very powerful. So, what could possibly be in a little box that would be something even littler but very powerful? Well, they contain quotes and affirmations. And quotes and affirmations are powerful tools to help you move from one mindset space to another. It helps to help reprogram your brain. And so I'm a big believer in the power of quotes and affirmations. So the one box says carpe diem, which is seize the day, and the other one says believe. So I am going to pick a card. So in this, there are a whole bunch of little cards. Hopefully you can see that. I'm going to pick a card that just fell out the stack. This is live in person. So I'm going to pick this card. I see somebody hi from DMV. Welcome. You know, I am in the DMV. That's the DC, Maryland, Virginia, for those of you who are not in the DMV. So I'm going to open this little card. It kind of like opens like a little door, and then there's something on the inside. So I don't know if you can see that like that. Let me bring it up to the camera a little closer. And I'm going to read it to you. It says, don't count the days, make the days count. And that is from Muhammad Ali. Don't count the days, make the days count. If someone can type that in the comments for me, that would be great. I think that is a great saying, a great quote. You know, sometimes we we are so many days before the end of the year, so many days before the end of the quarter or whatever, and we're just counting days, so many days before this, the holidays or whatever. But what are we doing with today? Are we making today count? Okay, I don't know who that is. It just says LinkedIn user that says, I hope we will meet one day. Hopefully. I hope so too. Don't count the days, but make the days count. I love this. So much is going on. And I know in my circle and my close circle and my wider circle, we've lost some loved ones recently. And so when you lose something, it really does make you be more sensitive and aware of valuing what you have. So each day that you rise and you have a new day, make it count. So that's our quote of the day. I'm going to be using these on the show. So hopefully, okay. Hey, Karen. Hopefully, these will be powerful. I'm going to repost this on my social media. And when you see it and you saw it here on the show, you know where it came from. Okay. So let's get started. So we're talking about CRMs. So if you use a CRM, if you are a business owner, put it in the chat. What CRM do you use? And what kind of business do you have? Do you have a product-based business, a service-based business? Maybe it's a hybrid, maybe it's a combination of things. What kind of business? And then do you use a CRM? And what CRM do you use? Now you may be wondering, okay, Miss Nina, how do you answer those questions? Well, I consider myself a service-based system, a service-based business. Although I do have some products, I have some digital products, so someone can purchase a product from me and go on about their way, right? But my primary business model is a service-based. And how do I serve people? I train them, I coach them, I mentor them, I consult with them on their strategies around social media and the use of social media, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's Facebook and Facebook groups and pages, whether it's Instagram. I help people figure that out and the supporting systems they need to be successful. So that's what my business is. And I use a CRM by the name of Kartra. Now, Kartra is what I would consider in the small business entrepreneur space a mid-tier kind of system, CRM system. It's considered what they call an all-in-one. And we're going to talk about what that means, because you will hear a lot of different names in this space. Can you guess how much money is in the CRM software industry business? As a business, on an annual basis, how much revenue happens in this business? If you can guess, throw a number in the chat. I see I got some people in the chat. Just throw a number in the chat. Is it, 100, 200? Okay. I'll tell you, Gartner does a report, and Gartner is one of the go-to sources of statistics on just about anything, actually. Um, But for CRMs, it's almost a $70 billion industry from 2020. And it's growing exponentially. It had a growth rate of like 13%. So I'm sure probably this year it's gonna just totally blow that away. I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being like $100 billion industry, because as people recognize the value of having a data source to help them make decisions and manage their customer data experience, they look for CRMs. But our CRMs are not created equal. All CRMs are not created equal. So, we're going to talk about what are some of the things you should be thinking about and know about CRMs before you put money on the table. Because if it's a $70 billion industry, you can best believe it has a cost, right, for you to use it. And that cost could be from $0 on one spectrum all the way up to, $2,500 a month for some, So you want to get clear on, where do I need to land? I'm an entrepreneur. I'm beginning. I don't have the budget to sustain having just a piece of software, and I'm putting out, $2,500 a month. Well, maybe you do, but I don't. So, however, I probably don't need, and if you're an entrepreneur, you probably don't need a software that has that level of robustness and functionality. So you may be wondering, what do you need, right? Okay. So I am going to talk about why you need a CRM. So first of all, the CRM is a piece of software or a software service that is where you gather, store, and manage your customer data. That's the heart of it. You gather, store, and manage customer data. Gather, store, manage your leads, your prospects, which is a early on stage pre-customer, as well as your customer, their initial information, any additional information you gain from them over time, their purchase history, their service history. Do they contact you to service you for services for the products they purchase from you? Do they ask for refunds on something? Are they on some kind of subscription or membership? All of that information is stored and managed in a CRM. Now, a CRM can do within itself all the functionality, or it may be required to integrate with other systems. So some of that gets into the individual CRMs and what they offer. So it's kind of like phones, right? Just about everybody wants and has a cell phone. Now, this is my new Samsung Galaxy Ultra S21. So I know that I have a lot of people in my community who are team iPhone, and I know people who are team Android. But at the end of the day, everybody pretty much has a phone, a mobile phone, a cell phone, a smartphone. But they all have different types of features and functionality that a given person decides, that's what I need to make my life easier. Typically, someone spends money on a phone and only uses 64% of the functionality. I just made up that number. I don't know if I might need to check it with Gardner, but I'm going to say just a gut feel, Miss Nina B statistic is 64%, right? Which means right? 36% of the phone never functionality never gets used. And I might be okay with that. 64 is a pretty good percentage. However, I may have an even higher end phone that, may track satellites and all kinds of stuff that functionality I would never use. I would never use. And so then the percentage of functionality unused gets higher, but I'm paying for it. So that often happens with CRMs. People may end up paying for something that they never use. And my goal for my community is to not do that. To the best of our abilities, let's not do that. So, in order to be smart about our selection, we need to understand what do we need at what given point in time and only pay for what we need and what we use. Okay? So, hey Christina, I see Leslie. She's Team iPhone from Georgia. I won't hold that against you. Not being on Team iPhone. She said, I'm sure I don't use 30%. Yeah, it's a lot. So, like I've got all these, I don't know if you can tell from the angle, all these new camera lenses on the phone. I'm like, really? I just want to take a picture. Do I need, 5 different lenses and different state? But typically I would say no, but actually that's why I bought this phone because I have a desire to get into doing more photography and I do phone photography. So when I go on my walks, this is a side note, right? When I go on my walks, I take a lot of pictures of nature. And so because I have the phone with me, having that functionality to use the different lens and zoom in and micro photos and all that kind of stuff will be exciting for me. So it was worth me getting the Ultra that has all these different lenses for the camera, additional camera functionality. But most people aren't like into it like that. So they probably have functionality they never use. Okay, so the benefits of having a CRM. So, one of the things that the benefits of having CRM, just the obvious, is you have a single location where you store your prospects and your client information, right? You're not scrambling around trying to organize a series of emails or trying to copy and paste from one document or email into a spreadsheet or anything like that. You have a single location where you can go and you can pull up a listing of all your leads and all your clients so that you can kind of slice and dice that data. You can say whether people have asked for one of my lead magnets, or they've purchased one of my products or signed up for a master class. I can do all of that information all in a CRM. Hey, Rob, nice to see you. Rob House, everyone in the house. He is a super, super knowledgeable person on these social media streets, very much a LinkedIn video. He does phenomenal videos. Shout out to Rob for phenomenal videos. But the other benefit to CRMs is as you grow, you can collect more data and make more business decisions. So, for instance, if I know I have people who are really interested in my LinkedIn knowledge base, I can pull that from my CRM and I can filter it from the people who are more want to know more about Facebook versus people who want more information about IG. So I have it all in one CRM, but I can start targeting particular groups of people depending on maybe I'm going to do a new offer or a new class. And so This is the value of having the data in one place. You can start to use it to help you drive some business decisions and some marketing choices. Now, when it comes to service, a lot of entrepreneurs aren't thinking about this, but need to. When you are having clients purchasing your products, how do you service their inquiries? Are you servicing them through an email? Like, I have a question, I have a problem. Are you asking them to email you? That is not the most efficient way to do it. Your CRM should have functionality that allows you to have a service portal where somebody can log in or go to a page and enter a service request that gets tracked against who they are. And then you can respond, and that email exchange is tracked in the system. As you grow and you have more people on your team, then you, as the owner on the team, can be able to go in and see how service activity is happening. And it makes it a lot easier. Because let me tell you, starting to track service requests and questions and issues all through emails becomes spaghetti. But when you have a system that allows you to organize it, you've done it. You've gone to the help and look for contact and send a message. And, they can say, okay, what is this relating to? Is it a billing? Is it a technical question? Is it just a sales question? And that helps filter and route the questions. CRMs have that level of functionality. You need to make sure you have that in your business, even starting out as a beginning entrepreneur. So let's talk about there are 5 types of CRM function software. So I'm going to talk about them from a position of functionality, the types from functionality. And if you're thinking, oh, I'm an entrepreneur, well, let me just say entrepreneurs need to have an CRM, no matter what stage of the game you're in. But not all are created equal. And the secret is understanding the features. Just like I talked about the phone, the secret is understanding the features and knowing what you need and what you don't need. Don't pay for what you don't need. Okay, so what are the 5 types? The first one is really what I refer to as operational. How does this system help me run my business? And operational really has some subcategories, and it is the most common and the one you probably want to think about looking and gaining one for. So operational is something that pulls in my marketing activity, my sales activity, and my service activity. These are my day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month activities that to operate my business, right? Marketing, leads, prospects, managing that, sales, closing the deals, getting contracts, managing that, and then service, making sure clients are happy, answering questions, resolving issues. All of that is all that happens in the day-to-day working of every business. And so it is the operational level CRM that you need to do that. Now, pretty much all CRMs have this functionality. The one area I would say that some of the lower tier that probably do not is the service. So you may want to look at You may say, wow, Miss Nina, it may have the marketing for my lead generation, it may have my sales data, it doesn't have the service piece. Well, you can always get a bolt on, an add on, another system for the service if you feel like you will have a high volume of service. If you don't feel like you're going to have a high volume of service, then you may have to manage it manually. Not the best thing to scale, but it is somewhere for you to start. Operationally, like mine is an operational one. Like Kartra, I use Kartra. It's an operational one, right? Um, Definitely some of the higher end ones, such as like Entreport. Entreport is a higher end, high operational one because you can manage your marketing efforts, you can manage your sales, and you can manage your service activity. Now, the marketing and the sales piece is what is typically the most common two elements that people look for when they first gain a CRM. And that's okay. If you are a beginning entrepreneur, you can start there. So, for instance, um, systems like, I don't know why my brain just went blank because I was about to say Active Campaign. Active Campaign is more of a marketing tier. MailChimp and MailerLite, they are primarily a marketing content management, contact management information, not so much sales. Um, they have some add-ons that will allow you to do sales, but it's not their core functionality. If you have to scale back from a budgeting perspective, you may consider just looking for marketing. But those three pieces are what comprise your primary needs as an entrepreneur when it comes to CRM. Now, I'm going to go through the other elements of CRMs, but like I said, this is the main one. So, another one could be an analytical CRM. So, analytical, you might be thinking, what are you talking about, Miss Nina? I don't even know what you're talking about. What analytical? So, once you are at a stage where you have a lot of data from your lead generation process, from your sales activity, even from your service activity, you start to use that information and analyze it for business decisions. So, for instance, if I have a lot of sales, if I'm a product based business and I have sales information around different products, I may see trends. I may see that this product sells heavily at this time of the year or to this demographic group of people. And I may, extrapolate that to say, I'm about to roll out a new product that's in that same arena. And I'm going to suppose that the same kind of people may be interested in it. So I'm going to market to that group of people. So that's when you start using that data to analyze and make these business decisions on trends and on the demographics, whether it's men and women, what age groups, what are their other interests, how can I support them in other ways. If they bought this and they bought that, then they probably will also need this third thing. So when you start getting that level of information, you need a system that can manage and crunch and slice and dice that data and present it to you in different kinds of reports and trends so that you can make business decisions. Typically not where the beginning entrepreneur is, but you need to understand that that's where you're going, right? Sometimes you got to know where you're headed so that you're clear on which direction you're going in. You want to start having that level of data so that as you scale your business and you want to offer more to your clients, then you have some insights to do that. All right. So let me see here. What's the next? Collaborative. So as you move from entrepreneur to small business to medium business to large business, what are the milestones of that growth? Typically, what happens in those growth points is you grow the size of your team, and the team gets bigger, and then the team gets so big you might have multiple departments. And you might have some people that are in more than one department at first. That's the way it happens. We know. And then you go forward and those departments start to grow. But each department has need of core data in order to effectively do their role. So you may go from one team managing marketing, sales, and service to individual teams managing marketing, sales, and service, but you want to have it such that they all have access to the same core data of information so that they can effectively do their job. So you want to have a system that allows for multiple users, multiple maybe views of the data, because maybe you don't want your service team to know the dollars. You just want them to know the products that people have purchased. They don't need to know your revenue streams and your targets and all that kind of stuff. So you may want a system to segment that data, make sure that it has protection and filtering of the data between people's roles and responsibilities. So a collaborative system has a lot more functionality as you get all the way up into kind of like an enterprise level system for a big system. Something like Salesforce is a big enterprise level CRM system. SAP is a big or SAP, some people say SAP, it's SAP, big enterprise level system. That is another type. Now, campaign management is a type. And this is kind of where you take almost like that slice of operations that it may be your lead generation, your marketing activity. That's where campaign management comes in. So something like Active Campaign is like campaign management because that's where it's really its sweet spot. You could say that MailChimp and MailerLite are kind of in that zone where you decide that you want to um, put out some kind of offer or advertisement or marketing to entice people to provide you with their email addresses or their contact information. So, come kind of a lead magnet, and you want to then nurture that lead to send them to particular offers. So that's like a campaign, and you might want to manage them at a higher level. So trying to think of a recent campaign I've seen. Canva. Canva did a campaign. Canva has had commercials on. They have promos that may show up on all kinds of different sites, even on the apps on my phone. So somewhere they have a system that's saying we want to get in front of these amount of people, and we're going to use these modes, marketing modes, in order to do that. And we want to see our penetration rate, the response rate, how many people click and go to the site, how many people sign up, how many people may already be users, so that we want to get some data about them, because in the past they may not have had that data, right? So this is where you have a campaign that's managed. Usually it's tracking to, ad dollars spent, cost per click. There's a lot of metrics that get managed around a campaign. So a campaign management is a key part of a CRM, and it's a particular type of CRM that could stand alone. It could be integrated, but it can also stand alone. And last but not least is a strategic CRM. Strategic and analytical are very closely aligned, and often they are the same kind of system. It's just how you use them. Strategic is like, help me forecast where I'm going. Based on the data you have, tell me what my business will look like if I keep trending the way I'm trending. So it takes the data it has and uses algorithms to figure out where is the direction I'm going. So if I say, hey, based on my sales this year and the product mix that I'm selling, if I keep doing what I'm doing, what will my business look like next year this time? What if I threw in a new product that was in this category? So all those kind of things is the strategic element of using the CRM data. You can imagine, just imagine if you knew for your business how to reach people who would definitely buy from you, and you knew how much they would spend, and you knew when what sequence of events need to happen for them to buy from you, how valuable is that for you? Would that be valuable? $70 billion industry says it's valuable. $70 billion industry. Yes. So until you get to that $70 billion, you might be saying, well, is that valuable to me at the stage I'm at in my business? This is all great information, Miss Nina B, but what? Well, I'm sharing this so that the next time someone says CRM at you, you're not glazed over. You're like, yeah, I got a basic understanding, but I know that where I'm at in my business, this is what I need. There's nothing wrong with these other ones, but this is what I need. So you may be asking yourself, okay, so how do I determine what I need? You look at your business goals. Right now, today, October of 2020, what are your business goals? I'm guessing if your business goals right now is around awareness and getting initial clients, you don't need the high end CRMs. You don't even need the big tier, mid tiers. You probably need something that is more of an email marketing and digital product sale CRM. It could be something that will allow you to do lead pages so people can opt in, and maybe you can sell a digital product. Something like maybe Pudia is a CRM. And it's always a good idea to start with one that has a low cost that allows you to ramp up. A low to no cost allows you to ramp up. Many of them that are targeted for entrepreneurs and small businesses really look at what is the size of your list. So if your list is 10, 5, you pretty much have a good option of getting a really decent CRM. Now, I recommend MailerLite. MailerLite and MailChimp, very similar. But MailerLite is a very simple and straightforward um, marketing oriented CRM for those who are non-technical. That's Nina's description. I don't think they say that. But my assessment is if you're non-technical, it's a great place to start. MailerLite. Let me share with you. I'm hoping that as you watch this has been good information. If you have any questions, put questions in the comments. If you're watching live, then I will answer them. If you are on team replay, #replay, which is totally clean, good, just leave the message and I will follow up with you and answer your questions, right? Brenda, I see you's like non-technical or technologically challenged. Like me, yes. MailerLite is what I would recommend for you. And in fact, what I will probably do is an exclusive in the group. So an exclusive in the group where I would do a walk around tour of MailerLite for those of you who are interested. And so if you are not in the social media success hotspot on Facebook, you can just go to join Miss Nina B. Let me throw that up on the screen and you can join the community. And I will be coming live in the group and do a walk around of MailerLite. But let me tell you, at the end of the day, just pick one and get started. Pick one and get started so that you can move the needle forward in growing your database of information of prospects and customers. So, if you have a lead magnet, which is a whole nother thing, and actually is what we will be talking about next week, is the easy, simple lead magnets. How do you use them? Why you need it? And getting you started on that road if you are a beginning entrepreneur. So, but join the Facebook group. Come on over, and I'm approving people. Ask your questions because I want you to get started. CRM is one of the things you need in your toolbox to be successful in these social media marketing streets. So let me see if I have any questions. Brenda says, yes, 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 yes. Let me check my notes, make sure I didn't leave anything out before I start to wrap up. I think that's it. That is it. Thank you so much for joining me here tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Listen, this was the social media, I was about to say LinkedIn, social media success hotspot live. And I invite you to join our community that's scrolling across. Just go to HTTP, join Miss Nina B. I'm Miss Nina B, your social media success coach. And I want you to learn all the tools you need in order to be successful in these social media streets. I love helping the beginners to understand how to use all the tips, tools, and tricks to make it easy but successful. Have a wonderful evening, and I will see you next week.